month of April. We are here. Evan and Tiki on the Fan. We've got an incredibly busy show today. A brand new edition of Posted and Toasted, the world popular game show at 3:30. What did Brian Daboll tell us today as he met the media? What rules are changing in the NFL? We'll get to all that later on. And the Mets get a victory last night against the Marlins. But I have a confession to make. And I think it's one of those confessions that's going to annoy a lot of my fellow Met fans. And maybe it's because I love professional wrestling. Maybe it's because I love heels. Like, I love that John Cena turned heel. I thought it was badass. I love Roman Reigns. I think he's been great for the last couple of half a decade. I love Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds is badass, too. So I just want to tell you that tonight at Yankee Stadium.
I feel a troll coming.
No, I think to my fellow Met fans, maybe not to you. Tonight at Yankee Stadium, as they welcome in the Arizona Diamondbacks and the really good Corbin Burns, and then tomorrow night, Zach Gallen, I kind of want the Yankees to score 12 runs a night. I kind of want to watch them continue to troll the baseball world with torpedo bats, where even though other players are using said bats, it doesn't matter. The Yankees are cheating. Like, I don't know what it is. And I'm not a Yankee fan, and I don't want you to win the division. I don't want you to win the World Series. I'm not taking this too far, Teak, but at least for now, just for the week.
Why does it give you pleasure?
Because I get to see people cry and whine about it. I think that's what gives me the pleasure.
Oh, you mean other fans?
Yes.
Other teams?
Yes.
I love the manager of the Brewers who said...
Pat Murphy.
Pat Murphy. It's not the wand, it's the magician.
That's right.
He's so right, but nobody's listening to him.
No, but they're listening to Trevor McGill, who says, they're the Yankees. They're going to get away with it. They listen to Dave Portnoy. They listen to anyone who's crying about it, and I don't know why. Because I'm a Met fan. I'm not a Yankee fan. I find the whole thing hysterical. And I kind of want the Yankees, especially against good pitching, which they are about to face over the next 3 days, I want them to assault them. Not physically assault them, but I kind of want them to score 11 runs.
But what do you get out of that? Why does that make you feel good?
It makes me feel good because I see those that are bothered by this cry and whine and try to explain it away as the Yankees are cheating. Can you believe they've changed 100 years of baseball? When the truth is, none of that's the case, right? Like, we know that. If we have a rational discussion, like, we all know the Yankees are doing nothing wrong, but yet the tears make me laugh. And that's why I think it's a wrestling thing. I think it's the fact I like the heels, I like the bad guys. And right now, the Yankees, even though they're doing nothing wrong, are simply the bad guys. And so there's no troll here. Like, again, this isn't going to last forever, Teak. Eventually, I'm going to turn on you. But for now, I kind of want the Yankees to just kick ass.
Well, I just don't see the Yankees as the bad guy in this saga that's going on regarding the torpedo bats, because they've been around for a few years, and other teams this year are using the torpedo bats. Hell, Francisco Lindor uses the torpedo bats. Juan Soto said, hey, I'll try it out. Sure. Even though he had the opportunity last year when he talked about, some of the Yankees using them last year, and it just wasn't something that was interesting to him. But hell, the Yankees are blasting 15 home runs in a 3-game series against the Brewers. I'll try it out.
Yeah.
So everybody in Major League Baseball at some point is going to come to the dark side of the torpedo bat if it keeps working. But why the Yankees got to be the bad guys?
They're the bad guys because they did it first. They're the bad guys because they're the Yankees. And here's the reality. Everything you just said is completely fair. Like, there are a list of other Major League Baseball players that are using the torpedo bat, including Francisco Lindor, as it was confirmed by Carlos Mendoza before last night's Mets game. But I'd like to give you 2 examples of people freaking out about the torpedo bat without using any sense of reality. And let me start with somebody I admire, somebody I love. Met fans, last night was fun, right? Pete Alonso with a grand slam. David Peterson worked his way out of trouble, and the Mets beat the Miami Marlins 10-4 in Miami. Well, late in the game, you may have missed this, but Gary Cohen, who loves to take his shots, decided, now's my time to take a shot at the torpedo bat and the New York Yankees. Take a listen.
Everybody in the Mets lineup has at least 1 hit, and 4 of them have hit home runs. Nope, torpedoes necessary.
What are the famous words of Admiral Farragut? Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead.
Come on. No torpedoes necessary. Like, It's funny. We can all laugh at it, but these are the tears I'm talking about. And I love Gary Cohn. He's my guy. I'm a Met fan.
Now I'm wondering who Admiral Farragut is. I don't know who that is.
I'm going Civil War general. That's what I'm going.
I mean, torpedoes in the Civil War?
Yeah, it
no
doesn't
chance.
Make,
doesn't make sense. It's definitely World War I. No, actually, probably two.
I only said that because Keith is like a Civil War buff. But here's Gary Cohn even crying about it. How about the back page of the Daily News this morning? Torpedo. Raw polar bear power, not some fancy bat, is all Alonso needs to launch Grand Slam and Mets romp. I mean, come on. The whole thing is hysterical. And I think sometimes as fans, you can take a step back from your own fandom. Obviously, I'm a diehard Met fan. I'm glad we won last night.
Well, you were right, Evan. David Glasgow Farragut was a flag officer for the United States Navy during the American Civil War.
I told you.
Nailed it. But look, at the end of the day, it's just a made-up controversy because it's not real. It doesn't mean anything. It really has everything to do with the Brewers pitching being extraordinarily bad.
And the Yankees being good. Give them credit.
And the Yankees hitters being really good. Like, Paul Goldschmidt had a bad first half of the year last year, but he picked it up at the end of the last season, and he's carrying it into his new endeavor here in the Bronx with aplomb. Give him credit for it, right? Cody Bellinger's the same way. It's not like he's a washed player, and we know that Aaron Judge, all he does is hit home runs for the last 3 years. So, of course, he's going to do that. Mm-hmm. And Jazz Chisholm, it's a baseball reason. You're going to pitch around him. Now you pitch around Judge. Now you got to throw to Jazz, and he's aggressive. So, of course, they're hitting home runs. I mean, the only one that maybe it makes sense that feels like he shouldn't have hit one was Volpe.
Right, because he got jammed.
He got jammed. That's a jam shot. Oh, it's a jam shot. But that's a great jam shot.
But you're using sensible arguments.
Of course, you got to use sensible arguments.
No, not with the world we live in. Let me walk you through something. So tonight, in about 5 hours or so, right here on WFAN, the New York Yankees are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks on a Monday night. And Corbin Burns, one of the better pitchers in baseball, is on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't know who's leading off. As soon as we find out, we will tell you. It's either going to be Paul Goldschmidt or Austin Wells. Hypothetically, let's say it is Goldie. Let's say Loogie keeps his hot streak going. And Paul Goldschmidt hits a leadoff home run using his torpedo bat. And let's say the Yankees romp Corbin Burns. Let's just say it. It can happen. Let's say the Yankees send Corbin Burns to the shower in the 4th inning of tonight's game, and they put up 7 runs against him to start the year. Let's say that happens. Don't be naive. What do you think is said?
Wow, these Yankees are pretty good.
You think that's it?
That's what I would say.
That's you. What do you think America is going to say? What do you think Dave Portnoy is going to say? What do you think Met fans all around our area are going to say? What do you think those talking heads on ESPN is going to say? I know they're wrong, Teak. We're on the same page. Mm-hmm. But you know I'm right.
Well, I think the Met fan will say, can we get our guys get those?
Wow, we got one guy with it.
Exactly.
He just didn't play last night.
Right. Look, I think ultimately it's going to be adopted across Major League Baseball. And like all of this hate is going to be so hypocritical. And these new other teams are going to find, we're not that successful with these torpedo bats because the Yankees just have better players. That's what it's going to ultimately come down to.
I think eventually you're right, but in the early going of the torpedo era we're living in, the Yankees are the ones with 5 guys with it, and anytime they give you big-time offense, it's going to be tears and complaining. And I admit, in the short term, and maybe it's because I know it's a long season, and just because the Yankees scored 32 runs against the Diamondbacks over the next 3 games doesn't ensure they're going to win the American League East, or ensure they're going to win the American League pennant, or ensure anything. But I'm here for it. I want to see the Yankees just continue to destroy Major League Baseball. I have to admit it. Sean, are you proud of me?
I am proud of you, Evan. You've come over to the dark side.
Just temporarily.
Just temporarily. I will further this by saying the only way this continues also is if Yankee fans feed into it. Anytime somebody stops you saying, oh, you're rooting for a bunch of cheaters, ignore them. Much like when the Mets come to sit to Yankee Stadium, we're going to stand up and ignore Juan Soto and turn our backs.
Right.
We need to do that now to all the Yankee haters calling us cheaters and everything else. Because if you don't feed the geese back, they can't nibble.
Well, but I would actually take a different approach, and I was thinking about this. So tonight at Yankee Stadium, the bleacher creatures are going to be there, as they always are, and they're going to greet everybody, as they normally do. I think the torpedo chant needs to occur. I think they have to embrace the torpedo and almost ask for a roll call from the torpedo.
Well, at the end of the...
Before or after home runs?
No. No, as they're doing the roll call, which is the top of the first inning.
So at the end of roll call, now they might be going back to first place Yankees. It's usually Yankee baseball. Now you're saying torpedo.
Yes.
Torpedo.
Yeah.
Torpedo.
I think you have to completely embrace the torpedo.
Do you think somebody will be dressed as a torpedo bat tonight?
You put the fear with the fan, the Billies and Creatures. You put the fear into the opponent by saying torpedo.
You put the fear in them, and you also
torpedo.
You embrace this. Like, here's the thing I would love if I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not. I'm just an IBO telling you I want to see people cry. That's what I'm saying. As an IBO, as a Met fan. And by the way, there are baseball fans out there, there are Met fans out there that are going to be ashamed to admit it, but I want them to admit it. My fellow Met fan, 888-808-1019, you know that you like to see people cry. And for just a short period of time, you actually want the Yankees to score a stupid amount of runs. You do, because it's funny. People are bitching and whining about bats, and they're cheating, and they're this and they're that. And it's hilarious. So join me as a Met fan, as an IBO, in saying, I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm not rooting for you to win the division. But temporarily, I want you to break baseball. Temporarily, I want to see other people cry and moan and complain and try to rationalize because it's fun. And if you're the Yankees, you have to embrace it. You have to, as a fan, say, yeah, damn right we're using the torpedo bat, and what are you going to do about it?
I love it. And I would also ask, do you think now, and this is good for baseball, the Yankees play the Arizona Diamondbacks on a cold Tuesday night in the Bronx. Is tonight the biggest must-watch in sports, the Yankees and the torpedo bats?
I'm intrigued. Like, I think I'd be intrigued either way, obviously, as a baseball fan. But, yeah, I'm intrigued to see if the Yankees can just assault another pitching staff.
I mean, Dave Portnoy's gone on 1 million cable news networks. I think it's that big a national story. I think all eyeballs on the Bronx tonight.
Talk about an opportunist. Talk about, let me get my time and retime in the spotlight, because obviously he's uber famous for everything that he does.
Yes.
Why does he need to go off on the torpedo bats?
Because it's hysterical.
Is it?
Yes. In fact, I will play for you in the next 10 minutes Dave Portnoy going on his media tour. I pulled one in particular clip.
Yeah, why is Dave Portnoy on a media tour? Think about what you just said.
Because he's taking advantage of the moment. He knows that there's See, what Dave, I think, is doing that's brilliant is I don't think at the end of the day he gives a rat's ass about the torpedo
you're
bat.
Right. You're probably right.
But he's representing people that do. And that's what's he's a populist. He's representing the Red Sox fan who's crying because Rafael Devers is 0 for 18 with 15 strikeouts.
Is he using the torpedo bat?
He's trying something right now. He's got a hole in his bat. So I think he's representing the bitter baseball fan that says, this can't be real. Now, the reality is, of course it's real. But I want to see it continue. Like, again, if you dislike the Yankees, which I know is what you think I do, and you think I'm like, some kind of troll here, here's what I know.
I don't know if you dislike them. I think you just like to troll them.
Well, I prefer them not win the World Series, I think would be my answer to you. But you can't win the World Series in April. You can't. You also can't get eliminated in April. As great as the Atlanta Braves being 0-5 is,
right.
Like, you don't get eliminated in April. So for now, what I just want to see is I want to see grown men and women cry. I want to see them bitch and whine about something as stupid as a torpedo bat. Gary Cohen's taking shots at it during the Met game. Couldn't wait. Well, I don't need a torpedo bat here. The whole thing is hysterical to me.
Well, they only had 4 home runs, not 9.
That's right. If they had 9, then it would be suspicious.
Exactly.
We will get to your phone calls at 888-808-1019. Am I losing my mind this early in the baseball season, or do you agree with me that even if you're not a Yankee fan, you want to see the Yankees kind of break baseball early on? Plus, we'll play that Dave Portnoy clip because it had me laughing. I listened to it 7 times in a row as he did a media tour, one of which was with Stuart Varney on Fox News.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. We'll play that for you coming up. We'll play that for you coming up in 7 minutes. Plus, more proof that Evan and Tiki win you money. We're coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios.